Hi, I'm Pascal and I am presenting my week's assignment 3.5, which was analysing an example of behavioural theory or practice in my schooling. And I am remembering a time when I was in year 10, I think it was, and we were learning touch typing skills in typing class. So, I'm just trying to pull up my PowerPoint. Bear with me, I've never used Screen-O-Matic or PowerPoint before, so there we go. So, analysing behaviourism, learning touch typing, and the ineffectiveness of positive punishment. So, in my high school, as I said, we were taught touch typing skills in year 10. And the behavioural learning strategy I identified from this experience was operant conditioning, the use of positive and negative consequences to strengthen or weaken voluntary behaviour. So I think it's pretty clear the teacher's aim was to discourage negative behaviour. That is the hunt and peek when you're looking at your fingers in the keyboard, or two-finger typing. And the aim was to encourage positive behaviour of touch typing, where you do not look at the keyboard or your fingers. So the method that the teacher applied was the use of positive punishment. This is what it sounded like. Oh. Okay, scared the bejesus out of everyone. So it was the forceful slamming of a wooden yard ruler on a student's desk from behind. So every time a student was caught looking at their fingers or the keyboard, the teacher was strolling around. If they were caught, the ruler would be slammed down on the desk right next to them, causing us all to jump. The outcome was I very quickly learnt touch typing. I think within the first lesson, it was over a few lessons, and even though the teacher never caught me looking at my fingers, which I think I did a couple of times to begin with, so I never had the ruler slammed on my desk. A significant number of students in the class never achieved as good touch typing abilities as I did, and I believe the conditioning failed for them. So I'm going to categorise this as a failed method. Okay, so why did the method fail? I think there are two possible reasons. The first is that the principle of contingency that Skinner identified was broken. So the application of the operant conditioning method of behavioural theory, behaviourism, the application of the whole behavioural theory was flawed to begin with by the teacher. So the stimulus or the cause has to be in direct association with the effect or the response. So by the teacher slamming the ruler down in the class, all students in the room, regardless of whether they were exhibiting positive or negative behaviour, so those that were touch typing, still were affected and were punished. So there was, in effect, a collective class punishment for the few people that were caught exhibiting negative behaviour. The other reason why it might have failed is the use of positive punishment as a negative response was actually seen by some as a reward. This is in line with what Woods in 2008 found when she did a case study on a UK student, I think he was in grade 5. His name is Zach. He was notoriously a rule breaker, and she was sent in to study the methods of the teachers and see why this student was always breaking the rules. And what she found was behavioural discipline methods are flawed because they neglect 3 key dimensions of a children's experience. emotions, so that's anger in this case of Zach, and a sense of justice, and their relationships with their peers. So like I said, some students got peer approval for breaking the school rules, and by increasingly annoying the teacher by repeated negative behaviour, they were actually getting a positive response from their peers. And here are my references. So there you go. That's my presentation.